What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 20 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Imrik Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, Imrat the Eternal and Shakalot the Calamity are now on the field and did burninate many a dwarf in their debut fight. They will be transferred from Phaedion to Imrik in the next couple of turns, whereas Imrik has a very small but very elite army to his name, and now simply because Arwenil and Michaela, more importantly, are ready to go off and do their own thing. Granted, they still need phoenixes and another fire dragon, but we're getting there. Solaire has joined Gordonar, and together with Michaela, there's still a force to be reckoned with. Plus, the Phaedion army is nearly ready to go. Look at all those glorious white lions, who will probably be sent somewhere north. I haven't decided as to where quite yet, but as I said last episode, the walls are closing in. Look at the poor empire. Man, this is just, man, absolutely destroyed. Altdorf is basically the only thing still standing. Chaos corruption is causing rebellions there. They're vainly attempting to rebuild their walls, but well, as to whether they survive, we're just gonna have to see. Anyway, in terms of what we gotta do this time, I believe there's still a few moves to make. Mr. Larishion, or Mrs. Larishion, is going to have to grab the Sea Corpse, which should be an auto-resolve if it's a battle. I think Sea Corpses are fights, yes? Yeah, alright, so loot the carcass, and do we care for your Ranger standard? Put it on you, I guess, for now. Auto-resolve. A little bit of damage, but nothing crazy. Let's ransom those captives rather than healing up. And there's a lot more islands around, but we do still have to grab the Monster of the Sea. Does this give anything to us? I think it's just money. We do still have to grab this thing. I guess the question is, do you still heal here? You do, alright, so you're going to go right here very close to this place, and you're going to grab it next turn, and then we will move Larithiel and the Silverin Guard into this army. Maxing it out. Also, this is another Sea Corp, so it'll have to be a battle, which means we can't do it in another manner. Alright, like so, Silverin Guard to you, and Larithiel. I assume you don't need to build anything up in this territory, and I don't believe that you do. Oh, right, I was gonna build you and you while we're clicking there. And I guess we can delete you for now. You will be leading an army rather shortly, probably one of the dragon armies, but, well, we've got a lot of stuff on our plate. Larishian, you have a route marcher. You're still a auto-resolve Lothran Seaguard army. I guess we're gonna get you Bowmaster, because we have nothing else that we could buff up other than the Eagle Claws. And frankly, the Eagle Claw buffs are also in Bowmaster, so we'll do that. And then once this is maxed out, well, actually, these guys will reach rank 7 fairly quickly, so we'll go fully through the red line and then grab Merchant Lord right after that, and just gotta keep an eye on Dedicated to Mathland to reduce the stuff. Next up, Erathond. You're good to go, sir. I believe you were going to hit the Blacklight Tower, and I also believe we were going to get Gondel a level. You know what, let's just get him favored by Isha. It also makes more sense than favored by Kane and the Eagle Army in particular. Feels a little bit more appropriate. And the post-battle loot is something nice. Though it's almost surprising that it's Isha that gives post-battle loot, not like casualty replenishment or anything like that, but post-battle loot. And Kane just gives murder power, and Choeth gives loss reduction, or vigor loss reduction construction cost, but relatively useless for a fighty army. Well, the vigor loss, but anyway. It's not enough to be considering, I think, at only 4% unless you stack those guys. Melinda, you have Transformation of Kadan maxed out. Let's max out Flock of Doom, as those are the things we... No, you know what, let's get 1 point in Curse of Anra here first, because it's a really good spell. And we should be able to land here at the Blacklight Tower. Though as to whether we will be able to... Pyrrhic victory, medium casualties. Nobody will get destroyed. I guess the question is, do we want to bother fighting this? Is this... They do have the walls. Is there anybody nearby who can attack us? The thing is, let's be realistic here. There's no chance that these guys would be able to defend it. We've had Erathond obliterate much more difficult armies than this, and... Oh, there's an army here. Huh. It's awfully close to Nagaron. And Nagaron was just taken. Okay, that actually kind of makes me nervous. Let's put a Metal Mage in here. Or, wait. Is there another administrative mage? There is, though at pretty crazy influence cost. But the construction time in these red territories would actually be fairly useful. We have a life administrator mage, which would give us the ability to pop off those awakenings of the woods. Any other kind of mages that are administrators here? Other than life? There is a Lore of the Heavens. Unfortunately, I believe you start with Windblast rather than Uranon's Thunderbolt, which would be much better on top of the walls. And I guess if you're just going to be a defender... Oh. We have a Lore of Light Administrator. And a Lore of Death Administrator, so Spirit Leech spam. You know what, maybe we'll go with the Lore of Death Administrator. Does it really matter? Probably not. Neither one will be particularly... Well, we don't even know if it'll get attacked. Is this too much influence investment? But we also don't know what the size of this army is. Plus, I guess we don't really care if we lose this. Let's just do another Lore of Life one, I think. Nah, just do Lore of Life. Go for it. Go for it. Oh! Wait, what? Huh, that's not the army I was... Oh, no, 2 army. Oh, I think you might be dead. Alright, I'm not going to give her items then. I'd rather not lose them. Although this army isn't actually anything to worry about. It looks like it's too weak. We did just destroy Hellebron's main stack after all. Anyway, you're going to just auto-resolve this. I don't think it's worth our time. And we will occupy it instead. And probably trade it away rather shortly. Banner of the World Dragon. Spell resistance 25%. That sounds like an Imrik thing, doesn't it? Rana the Food Taster. No thank you.
We stand ready for
Alright, well, we'll deal with that later. Next up, Astikar. You are supposed to march towards the Lost Palace and hit it the next turn, and then Gwyndian, you are supposed to do the same thing. You're... You know, march a little bit closer, you'll take attrition, but I think it's better that you are guaranteed to be in range of the Lost Palace. And if you're going to be the first to attack, possibly, let's put you in Lilith's Blessing, and just to guarantee the additional mana. Alright, next up, I believe Teclis does have a battle ahead of him. Oh, after Belherathoi, apparently. Belherathoi... You know what, we could march you over here to guarantee this, or we could march towards Harkaldra and prevent these guys from rebuilding. And I'm gonna risk it. We have a defender now, and honestly, we do have King Tutmos nearby, so even if something does attack this place, Tutmos will be able to help us out, so shouldn't matter over much. Alright, let's move this way. Actually, wait, let's move... Okay, you don't have to do that anymore. Encamp, and hopefully we'll be able to hit Harkaldra next turn while at full HP. And we don't need to do anything down here, I believe. Rakto Gorge, we can build some stuff. Oh, there was also a couple... Oh, man. Influence is pretty much gone. Well, I think we want to start racking up those sort of growth bonus heroes. Growth +5 all provinces. Can we build handmaidens anywhere else, as in anywhere closer to these armies? You don't have a noble, do you? Oh, I deleted the... Oh, actually, no, this wouldn't have been able... This wouldn't have allowed us to build handmaidens anyway. And there are no growthy nobles. But how are you going to heal yourself is the question. Do we have anything around here that would enable us to recruit? Nah, just the nobles. And while the nobles can obviously go into that army, I want the growth heroes right now. Alrighty, that's fine. I believe there was another option as well. There was a Lore Master of Koeth with growth as well. Yeah. I don't know which army we'd put you in, but let's get you on the field now, just so that we get the bonus growth. If we get like a dozen of these guys, all with growth, it'll really help us out and allow us to delete all of these elven estates everywhere, which are, yes, providing us with growth, but also they're taking a spot that could be filled by an elven embassy, so, you know, I think we have better options. Anyway, Architect Luaran, you're stuck. Teclis, you have a fight ahead of yourself. We gotta take the Demon's Gate, and then we gotta give it to Oxyodal in the hopes of being nice and friendly with him as well. I really don't want to get bogged down fighting the lizards for the southern Chaos Waste, which is relatively useless to us. Anyway, Great Ruination of Magic and Research Tomes, a little bit of research and a little bit of enemy miscast base chance, which is a nice counter to the Tzeentchen factions. As for Lorna, the Mage of Life, one more in Steel Tag that maxes you out. I guess we'll have you join this fight for one more time. Oh. Actually, wait. Now that I think about it, perhaps you're better off leaving the army now and going after the steel tech. You have a 100% chance, and this place will be taken next turn, so it'll be a while before you can steal more tech. Alright, do it. You're at a high enough level that it makes no difference, and there we go. You got only 2 turns of this, mind you, but, well, hopefully we can find some other enemies. Frankly, we could sail you out here and probably annoy the rats over there. You also leveled up, and I guess we could move you into... Wait, is there something here that would be useful to us? Hero action success chance +1 out of Blessing of Knowledge. I would reset you, but... maybe we should reset you. Where would you be if we trade this and this away? Where would you appear? Probably up here? And it would be only 3 turns. In fact, I think, yeah, that's what we should do. And then we'll better redistribute those points. Alright, fine. I'll reset your skill points. Good. And she'll be back. Teclis, you are going to attack Demon's Gate. It will be a battle, definitely. Unlike Erathon's thing, these guys actually have... well, something of a chance. And it really just depends on how well they can do against Teclis and the Omen of Asuryan, though past experience suggests that it won't be too well. Before we get started, while we didn't quite reach the engagement threshold, we were really, really close in at this point. Close is good enough for me. Frankly, it was never a sort of written in stone thing. Besides, it does make sense with 2 campaigns and going at once that it takes a little bit longer for people to catch up. So I'm all good with it, but their engagement threshold remains 300 likes and 50 comments, and the next episode will be an hour long as well. Let's get to it. Alrighty, here we go again. The Phoenixes set forth the Omen of Asuryan, matching the Tzeentchian sort of skies, as it does, but it won't be matching the Tzeentchians themselves much longer, as it's going to, rip them apart. I'm gonna send Teclis in by himself with the other Phoenix, as we usually do. There's certainly been a lot of standout mages in this particular campaign. Well, not maybe a lot, but certainly a lot of work out of Feodyin and Michaela. And Teclis has grown powerful enough, I think, now to actually join them. He didn't get the advantage of fighting against hordes of greenskins in Skaven, but he is fighting against other factions, like the Tzeentchians, which is still a fairly interesting matchup as well. Plus, and the reason we gotta have him fight by himself, at least for now, is that these enemy towers are, well, plentiful, and we gotta slowly but surely knock them down with our Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers. Anyway, Teclis gets surrounded by Doom Knights again, and damn those Tzeentchians for always having Doom Knights as part of their garrison. Unfortunately, the Phoenixes, or at least when there's only 2 of them, are fairly slow, and dealing with this sort of thing, the Doom Knights too massive, or maybe the Phoenixes not doing enough damage. I'm not entirely sure why it is so difficult for these guys to do any damage to them. However, that doesn't really bother us all that much, for the simple reason that the enemy can't really kill us as long as we have our healing caps, and both of these will just keep on healing via restoration and such, and Teclis will just keep on dropping spells, Flocks of Dooms, Chain Lightnings, Fiery Convocation, anything and everything he can, non-stop until the enemy numbers dwindle pretty significantly. He's up to 61 kills and 30k damage already, compared to the Phoenix, which has only done 2.2k. Granted, it's not been able to get any of those vortexes off, but, well, it is what it is. Anyway, first of the enemy Tzeentchian magic towers has been brought down. Second one is firing away on our Lore Master, which is approaching, in order to start casting those Gehenna's Golden Hounds and the periodic Spirit Leeches, which might be able to help bring down those Doom Knights a little bit quicker. Once we're out of this place, we're probably going to either sail or reset and sail Teclis out of the southern Chaos Waste, and then just send him north, where he can build a bunch of Lore Masters of Hoeth at the same time as a bunch of additional Phoenixes. Hopefully by that time, we will have additional Phoenix capacity. I do want him to have 2 Arcane, 2 Fire, and 2 regular Phoenixes. So I gotta double check his buffs. I just gotta double check that he doesn't only buff Arcane Phoenixes. On the other hand, it does feel like he should have more Arcane Phoenixes than the others, and it's just that the capacity for them is rather difficult to get as they are tier 5, unlike the other 2 Phoenixes. So they're a lot easier to build. Anyway, speaking of the Phoenix, we've lifted one off to do a little bit of extra damage, or to try to do a little bit of extra damage, but unfortunately it got chased around by those Doom Knights. And Blue Fires of Tzeentch come in and hit Teclis. He's going to take a little bit of damage, dropping him down to 60% HP despite that physical resistance. And not to worry though, he's still fighting and still casting and still dishing out damage. And as long as he has mana and as long as he has regeneration, and let's face it, he has plenty of both. Anyway, Gehenna's Golden Hounds from our Bound Horn come down. The Fiery Convocation will bounce around twice, dishing a little bit of damage to the enemy, and let's see, taking about almost half of the HP off those Flamers, but not really doing anything to the Knights of Tzeentch, which hardly surprising due to all their armor and their spell resistance being at 51, and the fact that they are a loose single, well, not single entities, but a low unit count units, or low model count units. Anyway, battle's still going. Here's another Spirit Leech on those darn Doom Knights. Need to be brought down. The towers are starting to dwindle. We got these two down. Now we're trying to focus these two down. And we'll just keep casting until they're gone. Teclis surrounded by Screamers. Now that the Screamers seem to be a little bit easier to kill with the Phoenixes than the Doom Knights are, for whatever reason. Anti-large though they may be. And in fact, I'm just curious here. If we click on Teclis, his armor piercing, no, it's pretty solid. And the same with the Omen of Asuryan. Might be a hitbox issue. I remember the first couple of times that we had Teclis and Co. sort of try to take one of these locations, and they were fighting some Changebringers and the Doom Knights up in the sky, and it seemed like, I don't know, like only 1 out of 10 of their actual attacks were landing. It seemed a little bit surprising. Sure, the Doom Knights have 67 melee defense, but at... well, Teclis is only 45 melee attack, but the Omen of Asuryan's got 73, so it should be able to get hits in theory. But anyway, how we doing otherwise? Bounce power remains at roughly 50-50, maybe 55% in our favor. Still working on this tower as the rest of our army cannot approach until we do. And that said, these guys are just going to bounce around for a little while longer, and it's, let's face it, not particularly interesting, especially as we've seen it before. So I'm just going to speed it up and allow those towers to be brought down while Teclis just keeps on dropping spells where he can. Haven't reached his healing cap yet, and we also have all of his passives going up every time, so he gets regen via Lifeblood or Earth Bloom. Earthblood? Life Bloom. Damn it. It's Life Bloom. Anyway, a few more casts. Looks like a nice Fiery Convocation go through the gate. We have been slowly chipping away at it with our Lore Master of Hoeth, if you were wondering where he was the entire time. He's managed to chip away at about 10,000 HP, 1/3 of the HP of that gate. Unfortunately now, the towers are nearly done for. This one will get brought down with a couple more shots. And you gotta admit, the exterior towers of the Tzeentchian variety look pretty darn cool. I like all the crystal structures and the... did it just fire? You're a destroyed tower, right? It must have been something else. I could have sworn I saw something fire away, but I guess it doesn't matter. Anyway, off the walls now, we drop down into the Chaos Knights below, even get a vortex with our Phoenix that we do get to wash down in flame from the enemy Flamers here. But not to worry, with the rest of our army moving in, we will now have fire support of the, non-mystical variety. Not that we need to, mind you. These Teclis and the Phoenix, I'm sure, would have cleared out the enemy army over time. But it would have just taken them 3 times as long to continue to do so. You guys are all firing at this... oh, wow. That was a cultist, right? Yeah, that was a cultist. Damn, I did not expect that to work, since he was standing, it looks like, right behind this Merlin, and there's a lot of arrows in it, but by the looks of it, it did work. Alright, well, great. Another one of those chain lightnings being spammed down on the enemy, though it's not a particularly effective spell against those Chaos Knights with their massive spell resistance and armor and whatnot. And just slowly whittling them down. The arrows are here to help after all anyway. Teclis up to 280 kills and 97,000 damage. Solid, solid, despite all the magical resistance. I guess one kind of interesting aspect of Teclis facing off against Kairos is since they're both powerful spellcasters, but both also have a lot of spell resistance available to them in the factions. It's sort of like each one is the least effective against the other, and would be much more effective against other foes, but not to worry, we'll be sending Teclis out there anyway. Plus, I imagine his army is going to function quite a bit differently when he has Swords Masters and Lore Masters in number to rely upon. But anyway, those Chaos Knights are still surrounding us here, still going to continue pincushioning them, but it's pretty clear that this battle is ours, and I don't want to spend too much longer on it. A few more volleys, there we go. Everybody told to fire into the blob now, and together with the Chain Lightning, most of those Chaos Knights will book it on out of there. Lots of corpses beneath the Phoenixes, and they're mostly fine, though Teclis has at last reached his healing cap, and same with the Omen of Assyrian as well. Can't be taking too much more damage on them anymore. And that said, by the looks of it, the gate is nearly down, 1/6 of its HP remaining, and a few more hits will probably allow our Lore Master and our spears to make it into the city. Though, let's face it, they probably won't have too much to do here. An enemy Exalted Flamer of Tzeentch has decided it wanted to go into melee for some reason, probably because with the Forsaken and the Chaos Knights engaged with the Phoenixes, if it were to fire at us, it would damage them as well, which would probably play much more in our favor than the enemies. Also, out of curiosity, I got 75% fire resistance on Teclis and his Phoenix, and yeah, same thing with the Arcane, or with the Omen of Assyrian as well. Just to bring down that gate, even the Phoenix is moving in to help now, just a couple more hits, and at last, it will be opened. Ramshackle though it looks, I'm actually surprised at how ramshackle the Tzeentchian gate looks. I should have made it like a mirrored, almost like glass-like surface, but actually, well, in reality, super tough, or at least with eyes or something. Anyway, nice, very nice shot from that Exalted Flamer right into the gate, and little mini vortexes, dishing out a little bit of damage to those spears, and we gotta head towards that Exalted Flamer, lest it dish out more damage. Some blue horrors move foolishly into range of our arrows and get quickly pincushioned. And the Phoenixes land upon that Exalted Flamer, only to get hit by the regular Flamers, but once again, they're not particularly afraid of all that fire damage. Down goes the Exalted Flamer. Looks like some Chaos Knights attempted to chase us here, but we'll peel away. And we'll rather run by the looks of it, rather than face off against the Lore Master, who is just moving towards them. Slowly but surely. That was kind of funny. And they're not shattered, they're just running. Alright, come back here. Fight the Lore Master. There you go. There's a lot of you. It's just one guy. You shouldn't be so scared. Well, that guy should, because he's dead. And another blow. There we go. Another one gets brought down. Kind of a cool little mini fight. And another gets brought down, and now these guys are broken and out of here, and the Lore Master looks pretty happy about it. He's still got 208 kills to his name, so, and not so bad. Our spears have moved in, but it looks like the Flamers of Tzeentch were attempting to line up a shot back here. Another unit of Flamers is getting absolutely obliterated by the Phoenixes. And we're looking pretty good. Alright, Lore Master has moved in and is now hacking away at those Flamers, protecting the spears that he's supposed to protect. I'm still on the fence as to how many of these Lore Masters exactly we want in Teclis' army. I mean, if we can get the kind that buff his spell work, as many as we possibly can, just to see what kind of ridiculous heights we can take his spells to. And now it's time to destroy the enemy lord. The battle is most certainly ours. Everybody else is melting away. And frankly, maybe we should have gone for the enemy lord just a teensy bit earlier, as it is a herald and they are quite fragile. One more chain lightning on the enemy pink horrors. The barricades actually work quite well for vortexes, since the vortexes can't pass this way. And if you do the vortex right at the edge, it means that it generally dishes out plenty of damage. And I do believe now we are good. The Herald will drop with one more hit from Teclis. With one more hit from... Nope. There you go. Honestly, I couldn't even tell which Phoenix took the enemy Lord out. But now we are good. This unit should melt away as soon as we get towards it. And, oh, no, there is a unit of Spawn of Tzeentch out here who decided not to join the fight. And in fact, as soon as we move towards them, they're going to back away. Get back here and fight the Lore Master. Why does nobody want to fight him? Alright, made his way in now, and just like those Chaos Knights, before he's going to start hacking away at the Chaos Spawn, I'm going to pop a Spirit Leech to soften them up. And the Phoenixes will land behind them. And they'll be crushed between the two. There we go. Last spawn, one more time, one more sword blow, one more foe felled, and now the battle is most definitely ours. Alright, there we go, another solid fight. Teclis finally breaking that 100,000 damage and getting 132k. Once again, with every level he gets stronger. Though we do only have 3 turns of profit remaining, so the leveling will slow down. He's in a good place now, and we'll soon be ready for a reset. And otherwise, well, we didn't really take much damage, and that's hardly surprising. Occupy. Beautiful. Barded Hilmar Steed for somebody somewhere, I don't know who, and frankly it doesn't really matter. Demon's Gate, we get to keep the War Hall, and don't collect the income. And the Elven Forge and the Obsidian Amulet Carver. How many turns would it take to build up a... I was hoping we could get a few more Eagle Club Bolters into this army temporarily, but it doesn't look to be possible. Now, out of curiosity, if we give you Demon's Gate, there we go. It's actually too bad that the Elves don't seem to be able to vassalize other factions. I'm not sure that they can vassalize anybody, in fact, which is a bit odd, but what can you do? Oh, we'd suffer attrition here, wouldn't we? I guess we could do this next turn. What's the likelihood that they declare war on us? Relatively low, right? They'd have to break their agreement first. And I imagine Demon's Gate will still be worth 103 next turn, so we'll still be able to get all the other good stuff going. So Teclis, stay there. Stay there for a turn and then move out. Now you also, you got Manifold Sorcery. Now your Winds of Magic cost are minus 20%. Then we'll move towards Need for Power and get another 10% reduction, as well as that cooldown reduction. It's gonna get good. He has the good passives. Metal Shifting is okay, but Roiling Sky, well actually, Roiling Skies against specifically all these Kairos units might have been a decent pick earlier. Though now that Tzeentchians are down in numbers, it probably won't matter nearly as much. Anybody else need to do anything? Architect Luaran, I think I already checked you. Melendai. I think this place is looking relatively safe now, as long as Nakari doesn't come a-calling, but I think you're okay. I mean, depending on if we trade... Oh, we can't trade toward Drenil right now because we want to get the Shrine of Cain from you. It's costing 98. Now, out of curiosity, how much is Blacklight Tower worth to you? Where's Blacklight Tower? Right here. 25? Why? Why is this worth so little? I guess it's because it has no military structures. Alright, fine. Build a militia camp here. Don't collect the... Actually collect the income for a turn, and we'll build up the military structures, and we'll see if we can't trade Blacklight Tower for Shrine of Cain. I'd love to give Tordranil away, but for now I guess we'll hold on to it, which means maybe keeping Melinda around. It's not like she's costing us all that much anyway, 264 per turn, not a big deal, just in case somebody attacks out here. Anyway, we got a little bit more money to spend for building, or potentially heroes. Let's double check those nobles that we no longer have influence, or... Yeah, we no longer have influence to get any good ones. We could just get us one as a sort of temporary influencer until we get a better one on the field, because we do need more of these guys. And that's going to be the case for a while. Send you to Karakazorn, for example. Or wait, is there any other place? You know what, actually, this would probably be a pretty good place because we can use one as a scout until we're ready to delete you. So, let's get another noble on the field. We can go with it really doesn't matter at all. Intolerable. And you're intolerable, so influencer may be the appropriate name for you. Alrighty, go to Chill Road and steal some influence. As to whether you succeed or you die remains to be seen. I guess we could give you some, not the minstrels, not the heralds of Mathans, give you a food taster, and I don't think we have any more of the things that allow us to succeed. Oh, I also forgot, we gotta give the other Caledorian Dragon Rouser to Michaela. Alright. Or, Arwenil, rather. Well, Michaela's army, you know what I mean. Michaela and Arwenil, yo. Caledorian Dragon Rouser, where be ye? Lovely. And that'll be a nice buff for those fire dragons. They certainly need it. Wish we could get some armor for them, just out of curiosity. Heart of the Flame gives them 10 armor. Beautiful. That'll be a much bigger upgrade for the sun dragons than it would be for the fire dragons, so it'll all works out. Also, we may as well get you into Skymaster immediately, preempting the phoenixes and stuff. And I haven't decided what else is going to be in your army, but I might put the Thilmar chariots in there just because I'm not entirely sure where else to send them. I think there was a chariot lord available, but I haven't seen it in a bit, so we'll see. Anyway, we got a little bit of money left to spend, so we'll do a little bit of building. Probably not much of it, but we should. I mean, we should upgrade Bitter Bay, we could do so next turn once the Rebuild Lost Splendor is up and running. Blood River Valley, I think you're in the same position, wherein we need to rebuild Lost Splendor, and there's a decent likelihood that you'll get attacked anyway. Abyssal Glacier, Fate Weaver's Crevasse. I mean, we could delete the estate in order to make it worth more in trade. I was going to give it to Oxyodal with this, but it looks like we'll get all we want out of Oxyodal. If only Tic-Tac-Toe or Croc-Gar could conquer a few of these territories, that would be swell. You know, maybe keep the estate for now, and delete the Elven Craftsman instead. Why keep the estate? Simply because it'll still give us a little bit of growth for all provinces faction-wide, even if it ain't much. Some pit. We need to upgrade you. I mean, we could start on it. Let's at least get the growth building here, because it's going to take a while to grow. And Carrick Asgal for now, replace the Elven Craftsman, upgrade the Colonnade. Alright, Obsidian Peaks. Ignoring you for now. Or continuing to ignore you, I should say. Death Pass, Carrick Drawn, yes to the wood and yes to the iron. More trade goods. And yeah, you might as well upgrade the growth, though we will need the public order building ASAP. Crooked Fang Fort. You're waiting for the Rebuild Lost Splendor, and that means Rigaten the turn. So skip unassigned skill points, buildings, garrisons, outposts available with Vissenland and Nuln. I would have built it if it was available at it's still alive. Altdorf. We could try Fyldorf. I just have a feeling it's going to get destroyed in the next few turns. Give it a try. A little bit more defenders there. Why not? And now we're good to go. End turn. Alright, let's see if anybody deigns to attack us anywhere. Go to Disciples of Hashut, Warhost of Zjar. Actually kind of interesting to see the Chaos Dwarfs do well, and oh, they've ended our trade agreement. They are certainly preparing for war, and we will be moving down there. What is this? Ah, this army attacked us. Huh, go figure. Well, hey, Tutmos, you're not helping us. Dude, come on. What the Is he not at war with these guys, or did he decline? Can the AI even decline to help? Okay, bit of a miscalculation on my part, folks. I'm pretty sure we'd still win this, though. This is valiant defeat. Oh, here's another problem. We saw there was another army up here that this guy was moving towards, which is why we built you up. If it moves after this army... Well, nothing we can do about it now, but fight, so fight we shall go. Alright, folks, unfortunately, because the settlement in Agron, and this is an assumption on my part, but and because the settlement is a special settlement, it seems to modify the towers, and therefore this particular battle is desynced, which means we're going to have to fight this manually. Not much we can do about it, unfortunately, but well, oh well. Let's set this up and let's do this thing. You're gonna go right here to have those towers be active at least. Then we're gonna pop a few units all over the place. Let's get, I don't know, you and you here, and a couple of spears with you, like so, and then you and you here with a couple of spears like so. Did I do the other spears? I did the other spears. Alright, good. You, stay up here for now. Or maybe up here. I'm not entirely sure. I gotta cast on somebody. Now, the enemy lord is out here, but there's an enemy master over on this side, so we'll have to react with the noble, such that the noble attacks them. There are Reaper bolt throwers here, and a fairly large amount of units over on this side. So I think our one and only full HP unit, the High Elven Archers, you're gonna go here and you're gonna fire upon the enemies over here. And we'll see how well you can do. Get a couple more of these archers essentially situated here and here. Doesn't really matter how we deploy them, I suppose. Although if there's a decent amount of melee units here. Alright, you know what? We'll pop the Lothern Seaguard here. And they can at least somewhat hold the enemies. We should probably at least keep one non-archer but melee unit out there as well. Alright, you guys can help out, and you can also fire down upon the enemy, like so and like so. Alright, that looks good to me. We still have crossbows available to us, so you're gonna go right here. You're from the garrison. And we got a couple more archers. Alright, let's set you up. And you go right here, have to be in the center so that you actually have those towers active for us. And I believe that's it. All the towers, I believe, are active. Nope, I took away one archer and this tower should be active as well. Alright, so, where can we pick up an extra archer that isn't needed? I guess one of you. Like so, you guys stay right there. And maybe you guys move slightly. Alright, next up we gotta build the towers. There's a decent tower location right here, so we'll have the explosive magical tower, which can fire down upon these guys, and these guys below, and we'll have an additional helper little tower right there. We're gonna make you group 1 mage, and I guess we're gonna make you group 2, because we can maybe use you to sally out there somewhere. Alright, and that's about all I got for this particular prep, so let's do it. You guys go here and you fire here. You will run out of the settlement. An enemy army has spawned an ability. And once again, demonettes, once again, the enemy has the ability to summon demonettes. This is even more bizarre for Harganeth than for the other Dark Elven factions. Knights definitely would not stand for this, which is, well, one of the many things that makes this feel weird. But oh well, what can you do? Somebody pointed out that it's likely a trait that is doing this, a sorcerer's trait. But I feel like it shouldn't be, or at the very least it shouldn't be available to the other Dark Elven factions, because once again, Dark Elves don't like chaos. They really strongly don't like chaos. They spend most of their time fighting chaos, probably more time fighting chaos than a lot of other factions. So, yeah, it's odd. It's odd. Anyway, you help out against the demonettes, they still shouldn't be that much of a threat to you. The Master is moving in, so let's move him here, and let's also make some use of these Silver Hounds. Guys, get ready to go around, hit those Dark Shards in the back. How are these guys going to breach the wall? By the looks of it, no. So we should be fine over here. This wall has been breached, however, and we'll need to move in to defend it. And that tower is still firing away. We just needed to get off so that we can switch fire to the Medusa. You will get another Earthblood going on. Could do the Demonettes again. That'll probably start melting them away. Or, if these guys are going to start blobbing up and climbing here... Let's do it. I'd rather get it on cooldown than wait. Alright, it's not a crazy amount of damage, but it's enough for our purposes. You go up here as well, White Lions, and we'll have you attack the Master together with our Noble, who is on the way, slowly but surely. In fact, you go up here as well. Alright, you, however, don't fight the Master, and in fact back off. You, archers, will... What do we have here? A unit of dark shards with shields. Well, they're not going to be too threatening. I would like the spears to block them off, however. You are going to be needed to defend against these guys. And you guys can stand together. Medusa, you are now the next target. And what the heck? Are they summoning demonettes up on top of the wall? They can't do that. No, I guess they just summoned them below the gate, but a weird sort of summoning there. Alright, demonettes are melting away. Noble, go after the enemy master together with these white lions and these white lions. Then, you charge the dark shards in the back. How are we doing out here? Fire on the Black Ark Corsairs rather than the enemy lord. You could probably heal the limited number of units here, including those Phoenix Guard, which the enemy I'm sure will have a very tough time dealing with. You guys are still focusing down that Medusa, or at least you should be. You need to move up here in order to get the towers reactivated, as they are no longer firing. Murderous Prowess is active, and he's probably going to have a bad time right now. As we activate another Life Bloom, probably could have actually waited until the Demonettes got in, but oh well, not a big deal. Noble, you have given up attacking the Master. Try harder. Especially with the armor piercing available, you should be able to dish out plenty of damage to him. We're pretty good out here. You guys have stopped charging? No. Keep on charging. Come on, come on, come on. Don't stop. They stopped right as the enemy started climbing. Yeah, they really also need to fix that. Units should be able to attack units that are clustered around the walls and attempting to climb. It's absolutely silly that units can't attack them like that. Anyway, we got another Earthblood available. And we do have mana, so I think we'll just pop it on these guys again while they keep on defending. And let's pop another heal on ya. Out here we have Dark Shards, and I guess you guys are going to move like this and then fire on the Dark Shards. Actually, probably could do this like this. Alright, Master is routing. You guys need to switch directions. You need to switch directions and fire on the enemy below. And by the looks of it, we're good. Ooh, there we go. Another Awakening of the Wood available. This one should hurt the enemy. Alright, very, very nice. Observe my radiance. Oh, frickin' elves. Alrighty, ooh, the Medusa is in now. You know what, Master, we're going to need you to help against her. It's going to be a difficult time otherwise. You, spears, go after those bleak swords, and everybody else keep firing inside the settlement. You know what, I wanted you guys to actually attack these dark shards, so go up here. And you guys are getting off the wall? Alright, good for you. Good for you. The enemy lord has made her way in as well, meaning you can switch to here. These guys are still fighting, but the Lothran Sea Guard should be able to hold them off. Silver Helms, make your way in and hit the enemy lord, I guess. Oh, they've captured the gate, so we no longer can. Oh, that's hilarious. I should have done that earlier, but oh well. Tower, switch to the Dark Shards, please. And a Lothran Sea Guard, go here and recapture this, allowing the Sea Guard to make their way in. Medusa's still alive, but she will fire kind of into her own units. And we're gonna give her a little bit of a hand. This might hurt our own a little bit, but it'll hurt the much more numerous enemies a little bit more, I'd wager. And you can wade into the fray a little bit. You're supposed to go over here, and you've stopped for some bizarre reason, so unstop yourself. And the gate is still not ours. Alright, and the enemy is just ignoring the fight and attempting to make their way into the city, but yeah, the AI has a annoying tendency to do that sort of thing. Alright, and Silverhelm's still waiting for the gate to be captured. Frankly, it's going to take a long time. Just move around then. It might be faster to do it this way. Archers are still fighting against some bleak swords here. Perhaps you, Tower, should retarget the bleak swords since they're fighting in place. All of you keep fighting as well. And silence from the Medusa's disruption. But the Noble and the White Lions should be able to bring her down, while you heal everybody up. Nice. Alright, gotta pay at least a little bit of attention to the actual battle, however, and not just watch it, just watch the units fight simply because the... Oh, there we go. I was gonna say the enemy are heading into the settlement, and thus we actually have to deal with that. But it's not so bad, alright. And, well, technically I already did chase a decent amount of the troops down when I played it. We don't need to watch the chase happen again. Most of the enemy army will be destroyed, and frankly, most of our units survived, even with the desync. When I played it, the towers actually had the second tier, so that they were shooting fireballs rather than the regular piercing bolts, and were quite a bit stronger, so the enemy had an even tougher time. Anyway. Alright, there we go. Bizarre little fight, but, well, we did just fine. Frankly, because of the towers, we probably didn't even need the Lord, but if that second army attacks us, it very well might come in handy. 3 levels, eh? Honestly, if you were a prince, we could have gotten Trade Lord on you just out of that. But anyway, we're gonna take the money and the influence as we do, because, well, we never stop needing Eleanor. I've always loved that name. It's in the Dark Elven name generator, so I've seen it a number of times before, but it never fails to make me laugh. Eleanor. It's fantastic. Alright, also, yeah, those darn lizards, they're coming for us. I need to prepare. We're gonna send the Lothran Seaguard army down there temporarily, and Jinquella has claimed a sort of... Hey, who the heck is Jinquella? Just a random lord under Eltharion. Okay, Eltharion, you were right there, man. You had the sword of Cain in your grasp, and you took nothing instead. Oh well. Enemy killed in battle. Enemy killed in battle. That's fine. Talisman of Endurance, and we're looking good. Alrighty, Imrik. Now. You will not be able to reach Black Iron Mine in one bound, but that's alright. You go right up to it, and then we can use... Oh! Actually, wait, Syrian. Yeah, Araya indeed. Imrik. Syrian. Are you telling me that you could have reached it before Tyrion, or before Imrik was in your way, but now you cannot? I think that's the case. Wait. Imrik, can you... If the frickin' giant... bloody Menath near blocking the view, I can't even see anything. It's just... Oh, alright. Go here. Now can you reach it? Ah, there we go. We did it. I mean, look at how giant his model is. It covers the entire... It's bigger than the frickin' settlement. No wonder I can't click anything. Auto-resolve. Razor Standard. Very nice find. And Occupy. And another Beard Weaver. Well, we'll never say no to another Beard Weaver. Furion, you don't need it, because that's for hero success chances. Syrian, you don't need this, and that was the only thing we summoned Syrian for, unless I'm mistaken, so we can just delete him. Rebuild Law Splendor for you, don't go for the military structure. Yeah, alright, we're fine. And delete this. Wait. Yeah, if you had one more level, I'd pop it into a Trade Lord, but whatever. Imrik, you're gonna march this way to meet up with Phaedian and grab Shakalot and Imrath, and you cannot reach Black Crag this round. Alright, fine, you'll reach it next round, and you can Lilith's Blessing yourself up. You are a magic-heavy lord after all. Next up, you... Arondir, the Lore Master of Hoeth. I don't remember which army I was going to pop you into. We already have a noble for the White Lions. I don't believe you do anything for the White Lions, do you? Just for the Lore Masters, but your Beckoned is probably not good enough for us to use you in a White Lion army or Teclis's army. But either way, Recruiter Zamdilla. You know what I should have done? I should have gotten another Lord to ferry this stuff over so Recruiter Zamdilla could keep recruiting. Also, Bitter Bale. Let's upgrade you because we're gonna want that structure. And we could then use Recruiter Zamdilla to build phoenixes. Alrighty, here's what we'll do. We will summon another temporary lord. I'll summon for a free one. Wait, maybe there's a free archmage somewhere. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. Alright, fine. Summon a prince, another cheap prince. Just to take a look at if there's anything crazy good here. Unprepared princesses. Gotta keep an eye out for more Lothran Seaguard lords to send into the sea and guard it. Alright, just get another prince. Not the ones that cost influence, though. We got better things to spend that on. Pigeon chested, disorganized, no. Pale in one, no. I'm just looking at this from a perspective of what if they have to fight, but it's just going to be a fairy lord, so it's probably irrelevant. Let's get you. Alright, pop you in here. Zemdilla, you're going to transfer this to Dydraris, and you're going to ferry the stuff over, allowing Zemdilla to move elsewhere. Or to recruit phoenixes and to recruit, hopefully, fire dragons as well. You go here. Do we build a fire dragon thing here? No, we built it in the other location. Alright, that's fine, though. Arondir, you're going to join one of these armies. Just pick an army and join it. And we should also double-check for... Ah, yes, there's another emollient noble. Perfect. We gotta get that bonus control. And where do we send you, sir? Another influencer to join the... to join this guy up here, I guess. You are gonna get a beard weaver. We got plenty of them last time, right? Oh, look at all these beard weavers. Hero of action, success chance. Beautiful. And begin influencing, sir. And let's get another one. Hopefully he doesn't get immediately assassinated, because I don't want to lose the emollient ones. Failure. Typical. Typical. Emollient. Lovely. And rename you to influencer as well. The more influence you get, the more influence you make, and it's all good. Enna... Stay here. Let's get you Shield of Thorns. You already have a base version of Earthblight, although Life Bloom is nice. But Shield of Thorns is a big buff if we, well, if we need it. And Agron still can't really defend itself. I guess this was the army that this guy was looking at, but he's still just kind of hanging around. If we sack the Chill Road, we might be able to get him to occupy it, though there are more landmarks here, damn it. I gotta stop going for these landmarks that we don't really need, but I can't stop myself. Okay. You... And build a military structure, whatever military structure you can, because we want to trade you. Erathond. I guess we want to push you towards Karand Kar. I also see another army out here. What we need to try to do is to grab the Shrine of Cain. Oh, also, Clark Harond. Actually, speaking of Clark Harond, how much was this worth to you guys? It wasn't worth a lot, as I recall. 15. If we join your war against Hag Grief, it's 7. Still not quite there, and really, you wouldn't do it for 16k. I guess we're just not making enough money yet. Alright, alright. Let's wait for it. We'll get this. We could trade territories for it, but right now it's not the territories that we want. So, Recruiter Fern Harvest. Arvanil is ready to move, and she's going to move down, well, probably towards the Bloody Hands, because they're... I see Warzag is back. Okay, we'll deal with him afterwards. You are going to go here around to Crooked Fang Fort, like so. Recruiter Fern Harvest, you are heading up north, so go this way. You need to trade your stuff to Atilnai. Atilnai, well, that's a question. Do we allow Warzag to take Dog Karez, or do we go for the Forest of Gloom? On the one hand, that's a very solid garrison with Black Orcs and tons of Boar Boys and stuff, and actually would probably be a solid fight for the Lothern Sea Guard. On the other hand, we didn't really invest into these territories, so it probably is just better to just burn these guys down so that we can return to Warzag after. Just not enough armies in this place, but, well, our army numbers are growing rapidly. Anyway, Erathond, do we have... Oh. Do we have military access with you? Come on, man. You're at war with Hag Grief, you want 8.6k. Might have to trespass here. As we go out to sea, would you still heal at sea, I wonder? It is shared. Let's find out. Yeah, you do. In fact, you heal more at sea than you do on land. Alright, well, that's just fine. And go here. And you can land next turn. If we burn down Karand Kar, assuming that we do declare war on these guys, that'll work out nicely for us. And we could probably trade it to these guys, maybe for another settlement, which we could then transfer to, for example, the Wood Elves for Kalar Karand. Some along those lines. All for those landmarks. Anyway, Belherathoi, you're gonna go into Noble Prestige and hit Harkuldra. There should basically be no defenders there, even with Malekith, not really a concern for us. And close victory or not, you can auto-resolve this. Alright, and is that Malekith destroyed? Occupy? It's, Lovely little piece of irony that Malekith was destroyed at Har Caldra. Har Caldra, for those not familiar with the lore, used to be another Dark Elven city that Malekith destroyed in a rage, and for him to end there just seems so appropriate. Very, very nice. I believe there was a rebellion there or something, and Malekith got really upset about it and took it down. Belherathoi, now Frenzy, hard on a mage, but it'll work for us, especially as this army needs everything it can get, and due to its lack of stronger units because of us relying on that Vanguard deployment. Next up, I mean, we do have Quartermaster here, but I think let's power up our units a little bit. Get you Bowmaster for those archers now, and we'll get you Militia Master after. The spears are defensive enough for our purposes at the moment. Next up, we have our Noble. Now the other nobles don't really care about esteemed combatant, but this army is more likely than the others to actually be on the defensive, meaning we can actually get some use out of esteemed combatant on you. We also have a lot of territories here, and it's all red territory, but, well, what are you gonna do? Switch to rebuild us Splendor, please. We'll keep Har Caldra, but we don't need this building. And we can keep the Greater Grove. Alright, who's up next? Architect Lawaran, yes, alright, so you are building a archive/grand repository here for more lore masters, and then you have to move up here somewhere. I think it was towards Crookback Mountain. Yes, next turn it'll be up to tier 4. Let's build this. Tower of Gorgoth, oh, you're gonna have to hit Tower of Gorgoth as well, but, well, got lots of places to be. Head to Crookback Mountain. Alright, and before I forget, you're an architect as well. Though you also don't need, you don't need the Talisman of Endurance. Rename Architect Anna. Alright, good. Itilnai, you're gonna fight in a little bit. We're probably gonna take the Forest of Gloom. I just can't say no to a good fight. And Teclis, I think we'll risk... Oh, actually, we could avoid the attrition by moving via the sea. I think that's what we'll do. Even if we can't move as far, and we'll trade the Demon's Gate now to these guys, hopefully for a permanent alliance. Ooh, 1 turn until the next dragon encounter. Fantastic. Demon's Gate to you. For a military alliance, a trade agreement, and a military access, plus decent bit of cash. A lot of cash. Hopefully this doesn't kill him off by virtue of, well, that being a lot of money. Do you want to join war against anybody? Do we need you to join war against anybody? Who are you at war with? Clan Pestilence, you know what? Keep fighting Clan Pestilence. We've no real intention to move to Lustria, so let's do that. And oh, looks like you're doing fairly okay there anyway, so that's fine. In fact, that also allowed us to discover... Wait, Nagaroth. Might want to do the non-aggression pact with him. Hey, Talakwa's ready to trade. Yes, please. I've been wanting additional or better relations with them, so good. Did we get a trade? Did we get a trade good that allowed us to suddenly do that, or did we just get some kind of secret milestone with regards to relationship? I'm not sure. Karakazul, I feel bad, but anyway, Nagaroth. I'd love to get that military access now. Still 8.8k. Okay. I was hoping. Yeah, fine. Give us money then. All right. And that looks good with regards to our Diplo. Alright, I think that's good enough for now, or at the very least for what we're doing. Let us do 2 things. First of all, influencers. You have a Beard Weaver, yes? Gotta make sure that all the influencers have 1. Hit this again. Another fail. That's 2 failures in a row. 1 more, man. And you're gonna become Beledna. You can also get, let's say... assault units. We might eventually hit the hit these guys here. Why not? Alrighty, while we're at it, that's Influencer 1. You. Did I give you a Beard Weaver? I did not. Meaning you need a Beard Weaver A for that hero action success chance, and... what was the other thing? Food taster. We don't have any additional food tasters, do we? There's one on Belherathoi, although they might actually be better on lords than they are necessarily on heroes, but on the other hand, on the level 1 lords, they should probably die. So Imrik, you're going to lose the food taster, and what we'll do is we'll give Imrik Did I give you a beard weaver? Yes. We'll give Imrik the banner of the world dragon. Because that should go to his army regardless. Imrik, where's that banner? Frankly, the line standard should go to the other army, but yeah. Where are we here? Banner of the World Dragon. Spell resistance 25%. Oh! I forgot that Imrik doesn't have magical damage because of the Starlands isn't magical damaging. Okay, I was going to give the Banner of the World Dragon to him, but we can give it to Imrath and give Imrik a Lichbone Pennant, I guess, for the magical damage. Alright. What do we lose, though? I guess the Lion Banner will go to somebody else. Lichbone Pennant for Imrik. The other one's on Erathond, and that's just fine. Looks good to me. Next up, we... Oh, damn it. Okay, sorry guys, one sec. Somebody's at my door, apparently, or at the very least it sounds like it. Alright, sorry about that. Let's see what else we have to do. Until now, you know what, I kind of don't remember where we were in the order of things, so we're just gonna have a till now attack, and deal with the other stuff later. Forest of Gloom it is. We'll leave Wurzag to take the, to take Dog Karaz, and hopefully we can move from the Forest of Gloom to close enough to Berikvar to prevent its fall. Though... I guess we'll see what is exactly in Wurzag's army, because depending, we could also get a temporary lord up here, give them some items, probably give her some items, as it'll probably be a mage, and then have her deal with Wurzag. For now, let's level you up and then let's strike. Metal Mage, what do you have? We can max out Transmutation of Lead. It's a solid, massive debuff spell and should be fairly effective. And the Forest of Gloom, as I recall from the last time I fought in this particular location, even though it is a magical forest, it shouldn't be a magical forest map, if you know what I mean. Meaning we should be able to fight it in a regular field battle. Let's get Retinue Physician into Retinue Valet and just max you out. Though, wait. We need to be level 12 and then... Oh, it's not going to be enough points. We need 1, 2, 3, 4. Meaning... 1, 2, 11, 12. Okay, this is all the points we can assign right now. Alright, Retinue Valet and Replenish Troops are pretty solid. And good to go until now. Lothar Seaguard away. Once again, too bad we don't have an extra lord here to deal with this, but all good. Close victory, low casualties, probably. At least it seems likely, though there are a lot of enemy heroes to contend with here, and the Black Orcs, of course, as well. Lothar and Seaguard are, after all, only technically a tier 2 unit, but, you know, they do good work. Go. Alrighty, for the Everqueen indeed, at least, well, now that we have a handmaiden in the army as well. Anyway, here we go, the Lothar Seaguard army marches once more, at least one of our Seaguard armies, the Lothar Seaguard army in the sense that it's the only one that actually gets a, cinematic fights, unlike auto-resolves, especially considering this is the only army that will hold those Illyrian Reavers. One kind of random bit, which I find kind of funny, but also kind of dumb. You know the dedications to the gods that you choose for the heroes, or for the lords rather. So for this one, obviously, we took a dedication to Mathlan because he's the god of the sea, the elven god of the sea, and reduces the upkeep for Lothar and Seaguard. The funny thing is, dedication to Mathlan does not reduce upkeep for the Scions of Mathlan spear unit, whose flavor text, I don't remember it exactly, but their flavor text reads something like, blessed by the Lord of Deeps himself. So literally, blessed by the god, dedicating to the god, no reduction on them at all. Instead, like other spearmen, their reduction is reduced by Isha, and or the dedication to Isha, which is kind of silly. It absolutely doesn't matter whatsoever, as the spears are a cheap unit, but still, it's the principle of the thing, damn it. Mathlan deserves his due. The Lothar and Seaguard have certainly earned it. Anyway, we're going to start the battle off once again by moving our dragon in, getting that first Star Dragon Breath on cooldown. Just going to hit some enemy error boys and biggins if we can manage to actually land the shot. Moving forward, and looks like the enemy's going to fire back at us at least a little bit. And, okay, these guys weren't even moving. How? Fire center mass, please. I feel like the dragon breaths should be targetable in the same way that artillery are targetable, you know? Like you should be able to alt-click the ground and fire wherever you want, not where the dragon chooses to fire, because like that, even when an enemy unit stands still, sometimes they just don't fire where you want them to. Anyway, we're gonna back up and I'm gonna activate that reverb bow and get a little bit more damage on, and this actually did more damage than the dragon breath, taking about 15 to 20% HP off the enemy unit. Our Illyrian Reavers have been doing pretty darn solid. You gotta remember, these guys have very decent weapon strength and 76 missile strength. Fast reload time, anti-large arrows, very, very solid against the relatively fragile boar boys. And on top of that, this allowed us to reposition, as in the enemy didn't move towards us while we were essentially skirmishing with the enemy, and now we've got a very solid line backed up by the sort of rocky, impassable terrain to our flanks. There we go, enemies attempt to head towards the Lothern Seaguard and see how well you can do. Can you weather this storm? And, ooh, this army will probably give us enough points to level up our Handmaiden, which will give us Hawkish Precision, which will be a 25% increase in damage on the range units in this army, which is going to be pretty significant. Anyway, enemies moving towards us, the arrows impacting on the armor, the thick plates of those black orcs, who actually look pretty great in the orange plate, but there's just too many arrows. Eventually, the arrows will find a chink in their armor, and Black Orc Big Boss will move towards us as well, but will get focused down by arrow after arrow after arrow. And with a little bit of help from the Sister of Avalorn as well, or not the sister, but the handmaid. Alright, down to 1 Lord and 2 Black Orc Big Bosses. One, however, does get hit with the final transmutation, which will reduce his speed and have a sort of increasing effect over time. The rest of the enemy army having a pretty bad day. Another unit of boar boys attempting to give chase to the Heralds of the Wind, but they've no chance to catch them and will take significant damage, even as they do. The enemy Lord gets melted by the Lothern Seaguard. We also pop that Horn of whatever. Okay, it was up for a bit. That increased our missile damage further as the enemy moved towards us. And will any of the Black Orc Big Bosses reach us? The one that got hit with the final transmutation is heavily damaged, but it does look like one will make his way forward and manage to... Ouch. That one Lothern Seaguard gets ripped in half. The princess, however, seeing that, flies down in a rage on her Star Dragon and pretty much instantly obliterates the Black Orc Big Boss. The rest of the enemy army is in pretty bad shape. The Boar Boys have given up on attempting to chase down the Heralds of the Wind and attempt to charge the back of the Lothern Seaguard. They simply turn, spears ready, and volley the enemies down before they get into poking range. Enemy units of Night Gobos attempting to flank us as well, together with some big uns, but they will fail and will run just like the rest of the orcs did as well. Alright, damn it, I was watching a particular orc and I wanted to see if... Oh, down he goes, there we go. I was watching a particular orc and I wanted to see what would happen to him. But anyway, there we go, no problem at all. The enemy was just not going to do anything against the line of Lothern Seaguard there. I think for an enemy that doesn't have artillery, to do good against this army, if they're melee, they need two, essentially. They need two armies. And I'm hoping we can make that happen for this army eventually, because I want to see the melee Lothern Seaguard in action, the ones without shields, because they have like 20 more melee attack than the shielded ones do, and I'm pretty interested to see how well they can function in melee, especially considering we've mostly been buffing their range capabilities and not so much their melee, so at least with our Lord and Hero buffs. Anyway. All right, there we go. Easy enough as expected. I do think this army will get weaker when we replace 3 of the Lothern Sea Guard with the Illyrian Reavers, but it'll make the battles a little bit more interesting, a little bit more interactive for this particular army. So that's just fine by me, and we gotta use those Illyrian Reavers somewhere. Creeping Death Destroyed, Forest of Gloom, Hours, and hey, we got a archive here. Not a bad pickup. The War Hall, not necessary, though, funnily enough. I did want to build an army with Shadow Warriors and Sisters of Avalorn, because out of all the lords, we'd probably be looking to get a Lethanar on the team last. Also, you don't need the Food Taster or the Beard Weaver. Keep the Obsidian Amulet, we gave you that for a reason, because you overcast, but otherwise, no. Anyway, as I was saying, you can rebuild Lost Splendor since we'll be rebuilding the War Hall with the Public Order building. Frankly, we could probably grow the place as well. If it gets to tier 4, we can actually get some useful capacities out of it, and not necessarily looking for it to make money, to be fair. Anyway, what I was saying was, yeah, we want an army with Shadow Warriors and Lothern, or not Lothern Seaguard, and Sisters of Avalorn in particular, as it's somewhat unlikely that Lethanar will be on our team for quite a while. Altharion and Ilariel and Tyrion are gonna have to be our goals as the first confederations that we can get via the influence if we can rack up enough influence. We have one, okay. Anyway, let's see what else we gotta do. Gwyndian, I don't remember who you are. Oh, you two, right. Are you able to attack directly? You're able to attack directly. Alright, so there shouldn't really be any defenders, or at the very least not much in the way of defenders of Lost Palace, so we can auto-resolve this, but we will use you, Gwyndian, to leech a little bit of XP. More into Merchant Lord and whatnot. We'll eventually probably have you leading another army, and ooh, a Potion of Healing. Nice. Not for you, but nice. And don't bother taking that. We'll put it on probably a fighty Lord. Gwyndian, you don't need the Banner of Illyrian, but we will put the Banner of Illyrian probably on a sort of cavalry-heavy army. Plus, you are dangerous, you're a great fighter, and you still deserve to have an army of your own, now that you're... Oh, Merchant Lord is maxed out. I suppose since we don't know what exactly kind of army you are going to lead, we'll go through Draftmaster into Elven Scholar. You know what I find really silly? That Elven Scholar... Far removed from the petty squabbles of other races, many high elves are able to devote themselves to learning, magic, and the arts. You know who that sounds like? That sounds like an archmage to me. You know what archmages don't have in their blue line? Elven Scholar. Archmages don't have Merchant Lord, which, you know, fair enough, they're too busy devoting themselves to magic and arts like Elven Scholars do, but they don't have it in their frickin' line. Why? Why is it like that? It's so bizarre. They have a plus 30% ambush success chance with a plus 30% defense chance. I could see why an Archmage might have the ambush defense chance, but I don't see why they should have an ambush success chance. That seems like more of a military strategy thing to me. The defense chance could be them using the Winds of Magic to, you know, sense stuff or send out feelers or whatnot. It's weird that the Lords would have Elven Scholar and the Archmages do not. If anything, it should be the other way around. Or everyone should get Elven Scholar because it's great and much needed. But anyway, rant aside, let's get back to whatever we were doing. Larishian, you've got more islands to pick up, so go for this one. And approach a carcass, and auto-resolve. And ransom the captives once more, and let's see if we get anything useful. Come on, materials at sea. Come on. Nope, nothing, damn. That's 2 in a row of nothing. Just money. I mean, okay, money's not nothing, mind you, but, well, could be better. Now, there are 2 more islands out here. And another island out here, and another 2 islands out here. Damn. How long can we expect to not get attacked by the lizardmen, is the question. Really? You're telling me this lizardman army is this much stronger than the Slothern Seaguard army? I sincerely doubt that. Bowmaster for... You know what? Skip Bowmaster, go for Root Marcher. We need to grab these islands and then as quick as we can move southward towards the lizardmen. Granted, I wasn't going to use this army to fight, and maybe we'll be able to build up another army in the meantime, but for now you need to be out here. Also, I would like you to heal up a little bit faster. I wanted to get you a Sister of or a Handmaiden, but we probably won't be able to do that right now, at least not from here. We did check around and there is no Handmaiden building anywhere nearby. We could in theory build one at whichever one of these places first reaches tier 4, but that's going to be a fair while as of yet. Alright, we'll figure that out as we go. Let's continue. Who else needs to move? Wow, look at this. Oh, that's all the lords we've summoned and unsummoned. You, architect.
What do you require?
Do we need to go architect some stuff? We're actually good here in the public order and doesn't... Well, I guess we could move to Ragdo Gorge, but I'm kind of disinclined to leave while this army is here. You might need to defend it. So just stick around there for now. I guess you could stay in Noble Prestige stance if nothing else. I think if this army attacks, they'll fail anyway, so it's not a big deal, but anyway. Melinda, we could, if we wanted to move you southward to potentially defend against the lizards, but at the same time, it would probably be easier to do that with Morella, who's a level 14 and is up in 2 turns. She'd get down here faster than the other guys would. Though I guess we'd have to figure out which place we would be defending at. I guess Sulfuret's is green, so we could at least summon some basic archers there until we're ready to give you a proper stack. Alright, either way, for now, Melinda, stick around. And I think that's about it. Now, let's get an invocation, a greater invocation of all up and running just for the magical item. We don't want it to sort of overwrite the invocation of Assyrian, because this one's by far the best invocation. The other ones I don't really care about. Or at least, the problem with invocation of Eldrazi, somebody asked why I don't use the rights all that often. The invocation of all is fantastic, but it's very expensive, so generally I prioritize building buildings. But get this as soon as, or as often as possible. We've gotten 2 of these so far, so we haven't missed that many turns. This thing has a Diplo relations reduction with High Elves, which... not so great, let's face it. But anyway, perform right. Let's see what item we get. Damn. Well, a Ring of Hakan is post-battle loot plus 10, which isn't horrible, but I imagine it only works for lords, and that's not anything crazy. This gives you exceptional protection, which is fine for a weapon. But it's only if hit points are less than 50%, which is Enchanted Athilmar Breastplate is essentially an Armor of Destiny, and Emerald Collar, poison attacks, ward save, and Seed of Rebirth, so a weak regen, a lesser regen. I think we'll take the Emerald Collar, it's solid. The ward save isn't quite up to the Talisman of Preservation, but the poison attacks and the regen make up for it, so we'll take it. It's probably... Well, I mean, see, Imrik already has regen, so he doesn't need it as much. Otherwise, I would probably put that on him, even though the melee defense and armor is swell as well. Anyway, that's about all we've got there. Let's do building, and then let's go next. Do we need to keep building things here? Not for a while, meaning we can switch you back to Banish Corruption. Yeah. Still tempting to delete all of those growth buildings, but we need a little bit more, just a few more heroes with additional growth before we can get rid of these. And maybe get a little bit more growth via techs, because let's face it, we also need those there. Your Good Howling Wastes, Dawn's Landing, let's upgrade the Eastern Bazaar. And we also need to recruit the Gate Guard here for this particular army. But nothing else is needed to be built right now, meaning you can briefly go to tribute to the Phoenix King. Desolation of Asgore. Nothing to be built here until Crookback Mountain is upgraded next turn. Ashen Coast, Tyrant Peak. No, just upgrade it right now, whatever. Rather than bothering to save money. Nagashazar, you can go into Rally Citizen Militia again, because Recruiter Zamdilla is going to be recruiting Phoenixes here for our fire army. What do we have here? We'll need to upgrade the Timber Mill, but nothing else for at least another turn, so I guess we're probably okay here at the Bleak Coast. Deadraw Gap. Actually, you know what? Switch it now. Oh, I forgot about how bad the public order was. Deadraw Gap, you're up next. You're more or less fine as well, so let's upgrade you and then just keep you growing fast as we can. Ruins and Pigbarter, you're both fine and will be for a while. Tower of Gorgoth, one more turn until you need to switch. Iron Coast, public order is probably critical here, and, oh man, the growth is kind of garbage here because we have no growth buildings, but oh well. Not the most critical of locations. Varenka Hills is probably safe from Wurzag, so we can freely upgrade it, but we don't necessarily need to upgrade anything here. Barak Dawasbag may be safe as well, so we can upgrade you, but obviously we leave Karaz alone, because Wurzag will probably sack it, take it, or raise it next turn. Silver Road, you are fine as you are, and don't need to be upgraded for a while yet. Tiranok is fine as it is, could be growing more, but it is what it is. Blightwater, yes to Karakazgal, upgrade for more gems, ever more gems. And then you can switch back to Banish Corruption. Iron Mountains, Rakdo Gorge, yes to the Promenade, yes to the growth, and yes to the Colonnade. More growth. Iron Sand Desert. I don't even know why I went here. Oh, we got 2 turns until Ice Rock Gorge is upgradable. Alright, fine, leave it alone. This place needs to switch to rebuild Lost Splendor, so we can upgrade the Temple of Adaoth. And just try to get towards that Temple of Val. Blacklight Tower, you are going to be traded, and you also don't need to collect income because we don't want you to rebel. Forest of Gloom, you're fine. Haunted Forest, you are probably fine as well. I'm tempted to uncollect the income so you grow a little bit faster. It's only 340 income, it's probably not worth our time. And frankly, with the income not collected, you can probably switch to growth as well. Frankly, a lot of the places that don't make a lot of money, like you as well, don't bother. It's only 400 gold, and the growth that you make will be better for us. Yeah. Alright, Abyssal Glacier, Fate Weaver's Crevasse. Yes to a military structure here, though it'll probably take a while to build. And I don't think we should even bother upgrading the Haven here. It's a lot of money and it's costly, and we're going to trade every single one of these territories away as well. I mean, we're probably going to just give them to Oxyodal. Again, I wanted to give them to Crocky, but it doesn't look like he wants to be down here anymore. Which is bizarre, because Temple Avenue of Gold, still owned by Zinch. I don't know, man. I don't know. Hag Grief, almost ready to upgrade to the next tier, so you're fine as you are. Iron Foothills, nothing to do here until Harkaldra is ready. Griffin Gate, we don't care about, but 8 peaks. We can build Public Order. Eastern Badlands. Yes, upgrade the Haven, and yes, definitely the Colonnade. Build another Colonnade, and then build more money. Death Pass, nothing to be done here. Ackendorf, nothing to be done here. Do you need to switch now? Valzandal, you don't need to switch as yet because we can upgrade the Iron Mine. Oh, actually, no, you know what? I lied. Go for Banish Corruption. We can build the Iron Mine up for cheaper. I'd rather get the additional corruption for the additional corruption. The reduction. No Slaaneshi corruption, please. And lastly, Karakazgal, which we are waiting on. But you can get the salt. And, oh. Yeah, it'll be 1 turn anyway, so we'll upgrade the other stuff after the rebuild Lost Splendor is up. Alright, looks good to me. That sounds like an end turn as well. Garrison Lorne and assigned skill points, building upgrade, outpost available. That's the Ghost of Pahwax. Oh yes, Godless Crater. Yeah, we'll still do Godless Crater. It's still their capital. Construct outpost, and I guess we're their only ally. Go figure. Well, we're getting some nice, collecting some nice lizards since Mazdamundi is going to attack us. Hopefully between Crocky and Oxyodal, and we'll be just fine. Crocky would be fine if we can hit the Temple Avenue of Gold. Only Teclis wasn't busy. I'm almost tempted to see if Gwyndian and Astakar can hold back these guys enough for Teclis to grab this. Frankly, if these guys could conquer the rest of this, that would allow Teclis to instead just abandon this territory altogether, move up north, recruit to the Swordsmasters of Hoeth, and then move north to fight. I mean, whatever he pleases. There's a lot of choices up here. Anyway, end turn. Now let's see what Wurzag does, who he attacks. Hopefully he gets distracted by taking these territories. Nagaroth will attack the Exiles of Nehek. That's not great. That is not great. I am... Oh, man. I don't want to break the alliance. I think what we can do is we can trade Nagaroth the territory for this in order to peace out with them. And then they can just fight Exiles of Nahek for a while until we can federate them. Why are you being a problem, Alethanar? You were just being friendly. Enter war on side of ally. What the heck is the point of that? The Exiles of Nahek are in sort of behind our position. Ugh, you just Nagaroth. And Grimgor's Ardboys will attack Record. Really? Okay, that one's a little shocking because Grimgor's Ardboys have nearly been destroyed. The fact that they're even trying this is crazy. Enter war inside of ally. Man, we are at war with so many factions right now. Auto-resolve. And will you sack? No, you'll capture it. Good. It'll mean he'll have to stay here and allow us to close the distance. I do wonder whether he'll run or he'll stay, and I guess we'll find out next turn. As in whether he'll run or he'll stay once we approach the Lothran Seaguard. Karak-Azul still want peace, but they're basically dead, so there is no purpose to doing so. Sacrifice to Mathland, Settlement lost Dog Karaz, Amateur discovered Kazrak, and one of the influencers has returned. Hey, and we got the monthly festivals up and running. Good. Now, do you have the Beard Weaver? You do have the Beard Weaver. You're just bad. Okay. Good job, freaking influencer. Monthly festivals, yes. Dragon-sighted Karakate Peaks, lovely. This is the last of the dragon battles. You can try to influence. I'm shocked that he didn't immediately die, to be perfectly frank. Get specialist first. I'd love to get the second level in secure influence because of this. It doubles how much you get, but you know. All right, now you won't be able to reach Barak Var, meaning Wurzag will probably move there, but nonetheless, you're going to march stance. All the way this way. And maybe you can bait him into attacking you because you're in march stance. No guarantee, of course, but we'll give it a shot. And we gained 39 influence this turn. Not too bad, but we could use more. And, oh, you had to be behind Imrik, didn't you? He was going to be able to reach Black Crag. Alright, grab this, and then loop back around. And challenge the dragon after we give this a read. You overhear rumors of a walking tree spirit and dwelling in a nearby wood, so you go to investigate. You discover it is a treekin, a hulk of animated deadwood that tells you it already knows who you are. This is little surprise, since you know that within these beings reside the soul of deadwood elves, souls of deadwood elves, and you have encountered many Azra in your lifetime. The treekin tells you it is the Herald of Bruor, a legendary forest dragon of great power known to be worshipped and protected by myriad magical beings of the forest, as well the Azra themselves. Such a powerful dragon is worth reaching out to, but what message would you have the Herald send back to its dragon master? The ritual of war, challenge the dragon, and what does Brewer's instincts do? Plus 5 armor piercing weapon damage and plus 50% armor piercing missile damage. That's a very strong buff. Challenge the dragon. And on top of that, it'll give us the Vine Dragon Scale. Also, I know we did read that one before, but I wanted to make sure that we did so again. Anyway, I guess we'll meet outside of Black Crag. Can you take Black Crag without our intervention? Not a lot there. And just auto-resolve it. I'm not gonna wait for it to be upgraded. Just destroy the faction. Death Pass, Karak-Azul destroyed. Also, how does Karak-Adrin feel about all this? Oh. Not very happy. He didn't like us destroying Karazakarak. Really? Minus 88. They had 2 settlements. Yeah. Well, hopefully he doesn't betray our alliance, but you know what, if he does, frankly, he's still only up to tier 3, and Karak-Adrin is still at tier 2. The dwarves just have not been useful. Granted, they've been guarding our northern borders, but they just have not been useful. Okay, now Nagaroth. You're gonna be an issue for us. What I'm really hoping doesn't happen is these two attempt to attack each other. Because, well, the Wood Elves... They also don't like treating... We'll probably have to use some intrigue at court to keep these guys friendly, once we have a little bit of spare influence. Or maybe right now. But yeah, we could probably peace out with Nagaroth by giving them something, though I was gonna give them the Blacklight Tower. Or I was gonna give these guys the Blacklight Tower for something. There's a whole switcheroo thing that we once again have to do before that for Clark Haron, but we'll do it later. Anyway, let's see if there's anything else. Well, really, we're pretty much out of time. I was thinking there might be potential for another battle, but I don't think so. At the very least, it's not looking like it. So I think instead, I'm going to call this episode here and do whatever admin I can between the episodes once more. Next time... Oh, wow, Oxyodal. What? You're all the way out here? I guess he's fighting the clan Pestilence. I guess they're the only ones he's fighting right now, right? He's fighting the Flaming Scribes as well, but probably not for long. Dreadfleet want to peace out, but Nagaroth does not, eh? That's kind of interesting. Other elves are still reasonably happy with us. I don't like the war against Nagaroth, but not a big deal. Ooh, Tulzin's ready for a military alliance. I mean... Usually I don't like to ally with the Wood Elves because they're wacky and like to, you know, attempt to attack, you know, humans. But A, we don't really care about that, and B... They're already allied with the Empire, so yes, and military access. And can we get them to fight anybody that annoys us here? That doesn't look like it. We maybe Warhead of the One Eye. Probably doesn't matter that much, does it? I'm just gonna take their money instead. Screw it. And they can keep giving us vision. Nice, how's that Confederation looking? Minus 62 on Atane. Court of Libaras, you're fine. Khemri, we're not doing anything with. Cult of Sotek, oh. And Itza, we've met you both now. Yes, please. We'll do the trade agreement with Itza. Wait, how does Itza feel about Bordello Errant, I wonder? They're trading with them, so they shouldn't hate them in theory. And Cult of Sotek is also trading with them. Alright, fine. Itza will do you. Like so, and hopefully the Cult of Sotek will still be willing to trade? Nah, a little bit short. How much money would you give? You know what, this will pay for itself. 1590 is not too bad. It's worth our time. Keep them all nice and friendly. And Bordello Errant, we've met you as well. You like Itza and the Cult of Sotek and the Jade Court. Yeah, it looks like Mazdamundi has to die. He's an enemy with these guys. And they seem to all, the rest of them all seem to be friendly. 3.3k, and it'll pay for itself again, just do it. Alright, the rest of that looks good. We now have potential access to some Bretonnian stuff, which, well, at the very least the Pegasus Knights and Royal Hippogriff Knights would be pretty interesting, because they're very much similar to Griffins, and we can have lords with Griffins. We could even potentially, if we wanted to, give Arathon those, though... Could anything ever come close to an eagle? But anyway, with that, folks, we are most definitely out of time. I'm going to call it here. Next time... And we'll keep moving through the southern Chaos Wastes. Imrik will proceed finally now to Wurzag. We gotta knock him out before looping southward towards the Khornate forces, towards that long victory of ours. Until now, we'll most likely take on Wurzag himself, and we're going to need to prepare for the eventual inevitable war with Quetzalcoatl, especially now that we've gotten friendly with their enemies. Stay tuned for more Imrik. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below, especially the threshold for the hour-long episode. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.
I am sorry.
Of course.